fever. So what happens is you take that's a really good ingredient for a speedy recovery. But nowadays we just go to the hospital, we take an injection, and that's it. So I recommend all of you to take kashayam before going for a treatment, and I think and I hope it will cure your fever. So we look into the next medicines we have. So likewise, we take tulasi and bojo for cough. So I don't think you might have heard of it, but I will let you know. Tulasi and bojo are used for cough. They are a very good remedy for it. And we have mint for gastric trouble, aloe vera for burnt parts, and sarvagandha for high blood pressure. You can have a note of it because they are really good, and you don't have to go for English medicines, and you can take your natural medicines over here. To talk about the introduction, the last few decades, with the availability of the medical plants collected from forests is becoming uncertain, demand for herbs and plants has been increasing due to a resurgence in interest in Ayush systems. Therefore, the forest resources are under double pressure and are not able to meet the demands of growing medicinal plants and herbs. A number of species have been rendered vulnerable to extinction due to lack of cultivation and also due to unsustainable collection of these plants from forests. So, what is medical plants? So, medical plants refers to using plant seeds, berries, roots, leaves, barks, or flowers from medical purposes. Their uses generally ranges from production of mainstream to paramedical products to herbal medicine preparations. To talk about the examples, we have tulsi, aloe vera, and turmeric, as we saw in the previous slides. So, to talk about the tulsi, tulsi is generally used for blood purification, preventive against bacteria such as malaria and dengue. It can also be used while chewing tulsi leaves, relieves cold and flu. Chewing 12 leaves of basil twice a day prevents stress. The leaves are nerve tonic and also sharpens your memory. The concoction of the leaves plus honey plus ginger is effectively used as a remedy for bronchitis, asthma, influenza, cough, and cold. So next we have a renowned neem over here. So neem inhibits allergic reactions when applied externally or eaten. So oral doses of neem leaf extracts reduces insulin requirements by between 13 to 50% for diabetics. Neem extracts given significant protection from discomfort and speeds the healing of gastric problems. The neem quickly heals external parasites and neem decoction is safe and just as effective as standard treatments for head lice and scabies. So next we have aloe vera. So as you can see, aloe vera has many advantages. Green leaves which contain aloe gel and sticky yellow residue called latex. It helps you with burning healing. It helps you with the wounds. It helps to you treat sunburns, radiations, and aloe vera is also used as a conditioner for silkier and smoother hair. Take orally to reduce cholesterol and triglycerides for a healthy heart. So as you can see, aloe vera is also used for your hairs. So I think we have many girls who are over here who are very fond of their hair. So I guess you can use aloe vera for as a shampoo for alternative purposes. So I guess you can look into it. Maybe I'll ask a sir to recommend some products for you. So next we have Briharaj, the main herb for the hair care and cirrhosis, works to help you with the kidneys and livers. As oils, it treats graving and balding, makes the hair darker and promotes deep sleep. It also helps you with improving complexion. The root powder is used for treatment hepatitis, enlarged spleen, and skin disorders. So the anti-inflammatory properties which are present in the plant is used for treating hyperacidity. So next we have turmeric. So turmeric, it stimulates your digestion, boosts liver functions. Coumarin means of reducing breast cancer risk among women. When paired with vitamin D, curcumin may help protect against Alzheimer disease. Curcumin can protect against liver damage and so on. So next we have ginger. So stomach soothing, it generally has a if you take ginger orally, you have a very good stomach soothing effects. It also used for post surgery nausea and vomiting. Sipping ginger tea can help calm an upset stomach as well as congestion when you have got a cold. Ginger extracts may slow the growth of colorectal and ovarian cancer cells. And it's also useful in treating chronic inflammation because partially inhibits two important enzymes that plays a role in inflammation gone away. So next we have amla. So amla, you generally use it for your hair growth and is very good to and is very good for your roots. To stimulate, it is also used to stimulate appetites while used as a pickle. To talk about the seed fried in ghee and ground in ganji is applied as lip to the foreheads to stop bleeding from the nose. It's also used for hiccup and for painful respiration. To use juice, it is generally used as juice or extract of the fruit combined with honey and pickle. Due to vitamin C and polyphenols, it is also used as an antioxidant. To talk about the benefits, it is really good for your heart and your eyes and your brain. So next we have Brahmi, anxiety. So Brahmi is usually used to reduce your anxiety, and it also helps you to stop irritation and insomnia associated with stress. The study, to if you have a really poor memory and concentration, I recommend you to take some of it. Maybe it will help. I haven't taken it yet, but I suggest you might have some good results from it. So next we have asthma. It also helps you with the asthma and bronchial inflammation. It has very good anti-cancer activity. So I guess it'll be very helpful for you if you are taking it in a very good manner. Next we have Beal. So Beal helps you with Ghee helps you with gastroprotection properties, control of diabetes, and it also helps you with cholesterol control. It has various properties, and it is also represented in the slide as you can see. So from here on, Bharani will continue.
Hope, thank Haris for your wonderful presentation. Once again, I welcome you to the department. I think all the second years are here. First, I would like to thank Mr. Ramesh for providing me this beautiful opportunity. In SKCT, Civil is a very renowned department and very beautiful department. Here we have very supportive faculties. Whatever you want in the area of startup, they will guide you. Or you want to go inside coding, they will help you a lot. Very agile faculties, very good faculties, very beautiful team. They're always open to idea. Let me tell you things about these herbal products, and I will give an objective on how to do business with these. Since I'm very related to this field, let me continue. Harish, please join the 17th slide.
Yeah, I'll change the slides, sir. You'll
Yeah,
just
yeah.
go from peppermint.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, now you're going to see about peppermint. Peppermint is used as tea for relieving upset in stomach. This oil can be used to dissolve gallstones. It can maintain a very good fat balance. It is used to lose weight, and it will help to get a body fit. It is used as a stimulant. It will be using for it can be used for refreshing and facial rated products, etc. Over to the next slide, please, Harish. Okay. Now we are going to see about what is the need of these medicinal plants and demand and entrepreneurial opportunities in this area. Okay. Let's see about the demand. This here represented a chart forecasting the demand. About 2,500 plant species are used in codified system for medicine practices in India. Here, Ayurveda shares 1,587 species, Siddha shares 1,128 species, Unani shares 503 species, South Rigpa shares 253 species, Homeopathic shares 416 species, and Western share 192 species. We can clearly show that Ayurveda has one of the long space in pie chart. On this chart, it states that medicinal plant is in heavy demand and usage. Over to next slide, please, Harish. Okay, now we are going to see about the rising demands. According to World Health Organization, the international market of a herbal product is estimated to be US dollar 62 billion, which is poised to the growth of US dollar by 2050. But India's share in the global export market of medicinal plant is related rate is 0.5 percentage. This is clearly telling the herbal product we export from India is very less. But I can say that we are doing very well because since I belong to this sector, I know about this sector very much comparing to another. Already, the spices and herbal from India is used as medicine in many more foreign countries. Now, the government has India has associated with the Director General of Foreign Trade to set up Herbal Export Promotion Council, which give incentive to exporters to send their herbals to many other countries. Now I can tell you an important thing that there is something called yellow gold. I want this session to be more interactive, guys. There is something called yellow gold. Do you know anybody? Anybody have idea on yellow gold? Okay, I will say what is yellow gold. Yellow gold means it is called avarambu. I don't know how many of you know that. Yeah, it is used as a cancer relevant treatment medicine in Canada. Do you know the Canadian Cancer Research Institute logo is this avarambu, this yellow avarambu? And actually, I can tell you a beautiful thing that they have collected a sample of this yellow gold from Tamil Nadu, and they researched the medical pattern in it. They grew up the same yellow gold in Africa, because the soil pattern of Africa and the soil pattern of Tamil Nadu will be almost related, but they cannot get the property that which is cancer curing property. Then within India, they chose Karnataka because like Karnataka is allied to Tamil Nadu. The most of the climatic condition will be same. So they have planted this yellow gold there. They have certified that the yellow gold, which is being cultivated in that means I can tell you the southern parts of Tamil Nadu and this Virudhunagar based areas and the areas around Virudhunagar is only suitable for getting cancer related medicine from it. So this clearly shows that we have a plenty of opportunity, and I need a lot of youngsters to come inside this forum to do very good business and to grow as a business leaders. Okay, coming back to the presentation, this indicates the production, consumption, and domestic international trade in medicinal plant-based product is going to grow in a significant rate. And I'm very hope that it will continue to grow in a very good CAGR for making use of a potential opportunity in India. India must develop scientific cultivation and post-harvest technology, processing, manufacturing, research, and extension patenting and marketing of these medicinal plants. Actually, we work with post-harvest technology in an institute called Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology in Tanjore. We speak with eminent professors. We have got that India is very good in producing these type of crops and the medicinal crops, but we are lagging in packing of it. The products like what I repeat, the yellow gold or this avaram gold, and there is another seed called Kanavalli seed, which is used for solving reproductive problems. And a problem in it is it contains a lot of moisture. The packing should be packed according to it. Otherwise, we may see a decay in these type of plants. So the post-harvest engineering or post-harvest technology is very much needed in India to be a very sustainable country among the globe and to develop itself in the area of herbal medicine. Over to the next slide, please. Right. Harish?
Barney, can we go to the next slide? Huh?
Yeah, yeah, please. Okay, now we are going to discuss the problems in this industry. Non-availability of verifiable data on availability and consumption of medical plants is being one of the biggest problem. And absence and ignorance of cultivation technology is one of the problem. Yes, but the government is supporting a lot from their side, but I can see there is a lag from our side that our farmers are not adopting the technology what is implemented by the government. Like a lot of incentive has been provided. Then ignorance of cultivation economics. They People think that it may be pure and uneconomical. No, but I can tell you the only highest source of income in export from India is completely based on herbal products. Yeah, inadequate irrigation facilities is one of the major problem. Non-availability of planting materials is one of the also a major problem. More than that, lack of knowledge is one of the very big problem what we are facing nowadays. And quality assurance is very poor. Yes, I can accept this. Why? Because I can tell you, in developed countries such as European Union and Japanese unions, they prefer that a maximum residual limit. A maximum residual limit stands for MRL, and I can tell you what is a maximum residual limit is all about. While growing the plants, we know lot of weed and lot of pesticide attack will be there. We should use the fertilizers and pesticides in the limited level, that is the residual level which is given by the European Union or Japanese Union. If we use it in the required level according to Europe standard, it may fit for export. Otherwise, they will reject the product. Okay, then inadequate marketing setup is one of the major problem in these type of plans. Nowadays, government is planning a marketing commission that is transport marketing assistant in different countries, and they help us to promote the product. And I can say that there is a lot of opportunity in this area. Uh, the youngsters should look forward into this area. Okay, next slide, Harish, please. Harish. Okay. Let us discuss about the marketing potential in India. Understanding of trade in medicinal plants in India is far satisfactory. Yeah, it is doing good. The trade in medicinal plants in India as is extremely complex, segregative, traditional confusing, badly organized, highly estimated and irregular. Yeah, I can understand this. So this slide clearly tells that it is unorganized market, and people have a lack of knowledge on this. Uh, yeah, nowadays government is supporting for your marketing of these type of herbal products. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now let us discuss what are the solution to this problem, because every problem has its own solution, it seems, right? Okay, cultivation should be promoted on a barren land, non-arable, and marginal lands under a participatory management action plan to improve the economy of the deprived farmers. Cultivation should be encouraged through appropriate rural technologies such as polyhouse, net house, and polypid mulching and organic farming. Traditional healers, farmers, and other stakeholders involved in the medicinal plant sector should be properly registered and officially recognized. Strict implementation of laws and rules should be enacted. Possible market opportunities and better return on farmers, providing incentive and training on the latest activities, development, and policies related to maps. Actually, the solution to this is first, government should organize a farmer, and I think it may be done through self-help group. And other one, they should completely procure what the farmer produces, and they should not give to the external organization, and they should market themselves using society. If they done in this practice, it may be sustainable, and it may the profit may be majority of the profit may be go to farmer as well as the government. Okay, over to next slide, please. Okay, comparing the regular cropping versus this, we can tell that regular cropping, that is bajra and sorghum, which means the corn and maize they are discussing about. One column is all about this bajra and sorghum, and another column is on medicinal plant. Here, in case of bajra and sorghum, the demand is high, but in the medicinal plants, the demand of is high. It is growing faster, but the chances of crop failure is less in medicinal plants, whereas crop failure is high in this bajra and sorghum type of plant crops. Not many private companies are interested in buying these crops as they are mostly subsistence. These are available in many areas bluntly, so their private companies are not targeting them. But private companies are targeting medicinal plants. Many firms are interested to buy this, and they are signing a MOU with the farmers, and they are buying it. I think somebody has rise up something. Is it okay?
Guys, if you have any doubt regarding it, you can voice out. You can just turn on your mic
Yeah,
and you
yes,
can
please,
ask
doubts,
what.
please. Yeah, I want the session to be more interactive, guys.
That will be great. It will be.
Yeah, more than we may not know things what you know. So sharing of knowledge is required. Please.
Yeah, it'll be a very informative session if we could
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
have
please.
it.
Doubts, please. Come on, come up with your own ideas. No problem, guys. No problem. Whether it is right or wrong, come up, please. Shall I go to the next slide?
Yeah, yeah, we'll go.
Okay, Haris, please.
Okay, as Barney said, you can clearly see the difference between the normal bajras and the medicinal plants. Medicinal plants are having a very high scope nowadays, and if you're thinking about cultivating them in a very large scale, you have a really huge profit in it. So this slide clearly shows what it is about. So
Yeah,
Barney will go to the next slide, right?
you can be an entrepreneur in this area because this is a
Yeah,
high
yeah,
growing area where the cumulative annual growth rate of this sector is going to be phenomenal. Haris,
yeah, yeah,
next slide, please.
yeah.
Yeah, now I'm going to just work out the cost cultivation for Bajra. Bajra means, maize, the sorghum, these type of crops. Yeah, let me tell you the operational expenditure for the following. The HR, the human labor which is required is 13,222. The animal labor is 290. The machine power is 3,654. The seed is 3,000. So sorry, seed is 2,138. Fertilizers and manure for 2,996. Then insurance, plant production charges, then irrigation changes, interest, and working capital seems to be 43.3. The fixed cost is 3,240. The marginal cost at the rate of interest of 10% is 2,597. The total cost is 28,750 per yield of 10 quintal. Do you know what is a quintal? Anybody has an idea? Anybody know what is quintal? Just open up. Be free. Yeah, one quintal is known as 100 kilos, guys. Yeah, one quintal is.
Yeah, it's okay, Barney. They are just freshers, so they need some time to mingle. So
Yeah, no,
we'll
no,
go to
no
the.
problem. It's a general question. General question. No. Okay, I will
Okay,
tell
so
you.
the information is given. So if you want to know about quintal, you can just see what Barney has said. And
Yeah,
to talk about the cost production, Barney, you can go on with it.
yeah, one quintal is 100 kgs. Basically, the cotton and these type of crops will be measured in quintal in mandi shops. Okay. Okay. Then
So we'll go
cost of
to
production rupees per quintal is 1,250, which is going to be your cost of production. That is 10 quintal into 1,250, which is equal to 12,500 rupees is your gross income amount, including profit. Okay. Okay, Haris, go for the next slide.
the. So we'll just go to the innovative ideas. These are the innovative ideas we have right now. As you can see, you just don't have to do your farming in. If you don't have an agricultural land, it doesn't mean like you can't do any farming. You can do it on your home itself. As you can see from this slide, this is an example of the indoor herb gardens. So you can have your pots and all kinds of stuffs on your roof itself, and you can do your harvesting. So I recommend you guys, if you guys take an initiative, it would be a greater idea in the future. So next slide, we'll go into the government support. But you can continue from here, Barney.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Haris. First of all, let us see the government support. As I told Parsley in the previous slides. I'm sorry. The government of India has recently set up a national level body called NMPP for the growth and development of medicinal plant (MPS) in the country from the year 2015-2016 onwards. Centrally sponsored scheme, National Mission on Medicinal Plants, has been merged with National Ayush Mission as a component via medicinal plans, and it's continuing with same activities. Under the scheme of financial assistance, rupees 6.25 lakhs per unit is provided to develop nurseries and cultivation of medical plants for Ayush purpose. It also provided. Yeah, the slide clearly shows that the government support, as I told you, the incentivizing to the farmers, the road trap, the marketing schemes, the transport marketing assistant, the export assistant. Yeah, it's all provided by the government, and it's a very good field to go. and it's an ever charming field because this is going to be with us as far this world is to be. So it is a very good business opportunity too. Harish, over to the next slide, please. Okay, National Medicinal Plants Mission. Actually, it has been started with an objective to integrate medicinal plants in an agricultural system by providing encouragement for its cultivation, improvement in quality of our system. Yeah, it has been established for providing improvement and quality standards and to enrich cultivation of this plant among the farmers. Over to next slide, please. Okay, now let us discuss about the importance of medicinal plants and herbs. Yeah, it is used as a food, flavored medicine or perfume. It is used in spiritual activities. Let me tell. There is something called this Nannari, where this is used for spiritual activities as well as it is used for medicinal purpose, and it is used to reduce heat in summer days. The route is very costlier. Treatment with medicinal plant is considered very safe and there is no or minimal side effect. Yeah, this is one of the very good reason why the international market is growing in a phenomenal stage here, and they are dependent on these type of medicinal plants. Yeah, they are very safe. It means that it will not harm your health. That is the main point. It doesn't mean that the whatever chemical we are using is harm. I'm very sure that chemical is harm and it will cause some harm to our body. The advantage of using this is it is completely harmless. It will not do anything to you, and it is used to treatment in internal diseases. It is a rich source of ingredient. Yes, it is used to keep ant, flies, mice, and flew away from a firm house and other office. And it is also used as a natural dye, pest control, perfume, etc. And I can tell you there is something called Nahavalli plant, which means that Davanage has rises and any problem? Any query? Hello? Any doubts?
தெரியாம போட்டேன்.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Let me continue. Let me continue. Yeah, let's stop. Yeah, it will not harm you. Moreover, it is very good for you. There is a plant called Nahavali which will keep snakes away from our houses or from. Okay, now let us discuss about the advantage of medicinal plant. It is just a minute. It secures steady supply of herbal medicine. Can be cultivated in any type of soil. Any type of soil. Yes, it can be cultivated in any type of soil. And maintenance required here is very low because you don't need to want to spray these pesticides and fertilizers because it will come on barren land most often, and less maintenance, low investment. Obviously, a very good market demand. Yeah, it will improve biodiversity conversion. It will generate employment and it will lead to women empowerment. Yeah, I'm going to discuss a very phenomenal story here. This is not related to this, but you may be very motivated by listening to this story. I know a women in Coimbatore who started a company called Bilva, Balbha. You know what she done? Yeah, she focused the market on Indian beauty and personal care industry. That she know that the market will grow in a phenomenal accumulated annual growth. She started a company called Vilva. Do you know what the company does? Yeah, the company sources this aloe veras and goat milk, pepper, and other type of these type of plants that the aswamanta, then adimandiram. They source that, they process it completely organically without adding any chemicals, and they process and they manufacture it in their own production house, which is in Coimbatore, and they market under their own brand called Vilva. Now, people at IIM cannot do what that lady is doing. The name of the lady is Kritika. She's owning Vilva. You may have been saw her in many interviews. She's doing phenomenally. And how many of you knew Nika here? Nika? Yeah, Nika was a startup started by Falguni Nair, who had completed his MBA in finance from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. In go to Nika and search Bilwa aloe vera gel. You might have found that it is out of stock. Yeah, the product is moving very fastly, so there is a lot of chances for entrepreneurship in this area and women empowerment. And let me also thank Mr. Harish, for helping me to present this. And I also thank Mr. Ramesh for giving me a very good opportunity to interact with you all guys. Wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Harish.
So, Barney, actually, as we said, students, various countries have now been adopting Ayurveda. While our motherland is known for its medicinal values, we, the
Yeah,
people of this generation, should carry these values and spread it to the upcoming generation.
yeah,
So,
actually,
I kindly request all the students to carry it out what you learned from this session. And I
oh,
think this would have been a very good, informative session for you all.
yeah,
If you
very
have
informative
any
session.
doubts, you can ask us, and we'll be able to clarify it, and we'll be posting a link in it. So if you have any feedback regarding our session, you can post it in it. Thank you.
Yeah, I can tell you information that there is a lot of scope
Yeah.
in this medicinal areas. In
Yeah,
terms
as
of,
we said, there has been a lot of scope for it, and our government is supporting a lot in it. So, as you can see, the loans and the sanctions have been really good. So, if you're really willing to start up a business on medical science, I think it's your right time to do so. Gather all the information that you want, and I think it's a really good one to go. So,
yeah,
from here,
Yes,
so
yeah. Hello,
yes,
hello. Can
ma'am.
you hear
Julia
me?
ma'am is here. She's
Yes,
very
yes.
international. Always we
Guys,
can
it
open
was
for ideas.
right, guys. It was really, really awesome to hear from your end regarding these products and other things. I'm so happy to hear from the young buddies. And
Thank you.
see,
Thank you.
you people will be having a lot of ideas. You please bring forward more and more into this. And the one doubt I am having is how they will check the quality of these materials and other things. Like, could you
Yeah,
please throw
ma'am,
some
I will
light
tell
into
you.
this? Yeah.
Ma'am, there is an agency called Export Promotion Agency, which has branches offices in Chennai, Delhi, Cochin, and another all. Okay. The maximum residual limits will be set by many countries. For suppose, let me say an example that out of my experience in this industry, I have last 10 years of experience in this industry, as we are doing as a family business. What they used to give is they used to set up a residual limit. For example, if the content of urea must be the 2 mg, means it should be less than 2 mg. If it is more than 2 mg, they will not accept it for export, or they and or it is we cannot use it for any other
Okay.
activities. Okay, hello, am I
Mm.
audible?
Yeah, Varney, you're audible. So, any other further doubts? Okay, then. With it, we'll be winding off our session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, thank you. Once again, thank you all for providing me this beautiful opportunity. I personally thank Dr. Srividya ma'am for encouraging us in doing these type of activity. I also thank Ramesh for coordinating these type of events. Thank
And
you.
we are all looking forward to meeting you in our department. And we are all welcoming you together. So we'll all meet you soon in our college campus. And thank you, everyone.
And always be open to us.
Yeah,
We are
yeah,
very open to ideas
yeah,
always.
whatever you want to ask, we are here with your seniors, so you can ask your doubts, anything like that. Even though we might not know everything, we might be able to help you with what we know. So we have a wonderful staffs over here who will be able to help you out with everything, and we are also here. If you have any kind of problem, you can just approach us.
Yeah,
We are
once
members.
again, we are
Yeah.
like a family here. We have very good eminent faculties, very nice person, nice people, very agile people. You can come, open your ideas to them always, and you can need assistance or help whenever you are in trouble. They are ready to help you, and they will come along with you. Actually, the intent of this event or this alumni association or this thing is one thing is very clear that we all should help each other. That was the main motto, it seems to be. Yes, Harish, over to you.
Yeah. I too feel the same, Barney. So I think
Okay.
it's already time, Barney. We'll end our presentation, and
Okay.
it was really good to meeting you all. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.